Welcome back to another episode of Sports Central. I'm your host, Jackson Bickers.
And I'm Peyton Price. It's officially the best time of the year as we hit the month of March. So prep those brackets and let the madness begin.
We start the madness on the hardwood for the Central Michigan women's basketball team, whose season is winding down towards postseason play. Before that, though, the Chippewas would wrap up their final home game of the regular season as they took on Bowling Green for senior night. Despite a slow defensive start in the first quarter, the Maroon and Gold would find their offense in the second to jump out to a 10-point lead going into the half and would never look back. Maddie Morrison led the way with 29 points, while both seniors for the Chippewas shined in their final game at McGuirk Arena. Michi Pruitt tallied 11 points, 8 rebounds, 3 steals, and 4 blocks, while the 4-year senior Taylor Anderson collected 9 points, 10 rebounds, and 2 steals to wrap up a 77-65 victory over the Falcons. Following the win, CMU had a little bit more to celebrate about with the MAC regular season awards, which saw multiple Chippewas take home some hardware. Maddie Morrison would be crowned the MAC Player of the Year and earned an All-MAC First Team selection after leading the conference in points with 20 per game. Morrison became the first Chippewa ever to win both the MAC Freshman of the Year and MAC Player of the Year award. Her sophomore counterpart, Ayanna Sarai-Darrington, would earn honors as well, being named to the All-MAC Second Team. With the regular season in the books, all eyes turned to the MAC tournament in Cleveland, which saw Central enter as the 4th seed as they look to avenge their regular season overtime loss to Ohio and hopefully secure their first MAC title since 2021. It was a tight battle the entire way, with a total of 6 ties and 7 lead changes throughout the game. Ultimately, it would be Ohio, who after going ahead with a layup in the final minute would hold on to the lead and end the Chippewas season 89-88. Morrison led the way with 23 points, while Darrington and Anderson both added double-doubles as well. It was another year of improvements in year 3 of the Kristen Haney era. Congratulations on another great season, and we can't wait to see what the future holds for the program.
Sticking on the court, the Central Michigan men's basketball team entered the final week of their regular season, having full control of their own destiny for the MAC tournament. The Maroon and Gold found themselves in 7th place entering the week and were in search of one victory and a loss from either UMass or Buffalo to send the team to Cleveland. On March 3rd, the Chippewas took on the reigning back-to-back MAC champions, the Akron Zips, at McGuirk Arena for the final home game of the year. Coming into the game, the Chippewas were riding momentum at home with a 4-game home winning streak and looked to keep the mojo flowing against an Akron squad that was on a 15-game winning streak. CMU held its own against the Zips, trading decisive blows in the game with just over 11 minutes remaining. Unfortunately for the Chippewas, Akron quickly responded with a 12-0 run that they weren't able to recover from, ultimately spoiling the home finale 77-64. With their MAC tournament hopes on the line, Central would look to find a victory in the final game of the regular season on the road at Ball State. The team would need a win and then a Buffalo loss on Friday at Toledo to secure a spot in the conference tournament. While Toledo did their job, the Chippewas were not able to overcome a great offensive performance from Ball State, falling 85-69 to put an end to their season. After the game, Coach Andy Bronkema said, "I'm proud of the effort that the coaches put in to stay positive every day. I'm proud of the team. I do believe that they could be satisfied that they gave their best to be their best. This is a chance to show our true character and learn from it." The Chippewas end Andy Bronkema's first season with a record of 10-21 and a 6-12 conference record to finish 10th in the MAC. They will look to make further strides in year number 2 next winter.
Staying in postseason play, Central Michigan Wrestling looked to make some noise at the Mid-American Conference Tournament in Buffalo, New York. 10 wrestlers would take to the mats in the maroon and gold singlets in hopes of standing victorious on the podium at the end of the 2-day affair. Redshirt senior Mason Schrader entered the contest as the number 1 seed at 157 pounds, the only Chippewa to be ranked first in his weight class. Heavyweight redshirt senior Brian Caves walked into Buffalo ranked 2nd, while freshman Archer Anderson as well as redshirt senior Chandler Amaker were both 4 seeds at 125 and 165 respectively. The Chippewas, who came into the conference tournament with a league-leading 17 titles, were hopeful to get back to the top of the podium after falling 2nd to Lock Haven last year. Unfortunately, on the first day of competition, all 10 wrestlers for Central lost at least 1 match, with 2 being eliminated. However, each wrestler could still potentially finish 3rd, and national tournament qualifications were still on the line. Redshirt junior Andrew Austin won his NCAA qualification after entering the MAC tournament as an 8th seed. After initially falling to the overall 1 seed at 133, Austin would earn himself a tech ball and 2 one-score victories in the consolation bracket to finish 4th, upsetting the 5th and 2nd seeds. He is the 32nd seed nationally and will face Carter Schmidt of Oklahoma at Rocket Arena Thursday, March 19th. Mason Schrader, who finished 5th at 157, received an at-large bid after just barely missing the qualification to the national tournament. This will be Schrader's 2nd trip to the NCAA Finals, as he qualified last year at 149 as a 24 seed. This time, he steps up at 25th, representing the Chippewas in Cleveland to face Ohio State's Brandon Cannon.
The Central Michigan softball team started conference play this past weekend, traveling to Bowling Green to take on the Falcons. Game 1 of the series was a pitching clinic as Central Michigan's Mackenzie Langen faced Bowling Green's Mackenzie Krafsick, and they were both lights out. Mackenzie Langen went 6 2/3 innings, allowing just 2 hits and an unearned run while striking out 7. For Bowling Green, Mackenzie Krafsick pitched a complete game shutout, going a full 7 innings, allowing only 3 hits in the game. The only run came across in the bottom of the 7th inning, where Bowling Green's Peyton Steffs hit a walk-off sac fly to win 1-0. Game 2 went a lot better for the Maroon and Gold, where they got their first conference win 7-4 thanks to a 3-run top of the 1st inning where London Williams and Torrey Briggs both had RBI singles. In the final game of the series, CMU's offense continued to rake. A 5-run 2nd inning for the Maroon and Gold, which was started thanks to a solo home run from Torrey Briggs, helped open the final game of the series. What made the scoring outburst even more impressive was who the runs were scored on. Mackenzie Krafsick, who shut out the Chippewas earlier in the series. The pitching in this game was just as good. 5 innings and 2 runs allowed for Mackenzie Langen, and a good closing job from Aubie Strelo, who went 2 innings, allowing 1 hit and 4 strikeouts, helping the Chippewas keep their distance from the Falcons. Ultimately, the Chippewas were able to win the final game 8-2 and take the series win. Up next, CMU will have their home opener against Ball State this weekend.
Over the past 2 weeks, CMU baseball has been in the middle of a stretch filled with late-inning drama as Mid-American Conference play got underway. The Maroon and Gold opened MAC play in Muncie, Indiana against Ball State and picked up an exciting 8-7 comeback win in the opener. Central Michigan trailed late before a 4-run 8th inning that was sparked by clutch hits from Bryson Webb and Cole Prout to give CMU the lead, and the bullpen held on with Max Hammond recording his first career save. The rest of the series featured plenty of offense, including a 7-run 4th inning by the Chippewas in the finale, but Ball State ultimately took the series. CMU responded in a big way in a midweek non-conference matchup at Mercyhurst, erasing a late deficit by scoring 6 runs in the 9th inning to complete an 18-14 marathon victory. The momentum continued into the weekend series at Kent State, where Central Michigan again found itself in a high-scoring battle. The Maroon and Gold belted 5 home runs and built a 10-4 lead, including 2 long balls from Zach Nolan. But the Golden Flashes stormed back with 6 runs in the 9th before walking it off in the 10th inning to win 11-10. Kent State followed that with a pair of close wins, including a 3-2 game that featured 2 unearned runs and a 6-4 result in the series finale. After 2 weeks filled with comebacks, home runs, and extra inning drama, Central Michigan now turns its attention to a midweek road matchup Wednesday at Notre Dame before the Maroon and Gold return home this weekend for their home opener series against the Toledo Rockets.
That will conclude our Central Michigan Athletics segment for today. Congratulations to both our men's and women's basketball teams on a successful season, and best of luck to both our NCAA qualifying wrestlers this week.
Coming up next, we take a look into professional sports and get you all caught up on the World Baseball Classic. Don't go anywhere.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
I think someone at my friend's school has this thing called autism. My friend's brother's son has autism. My neighbor's son has autism. My son has autism.
Autism is getting closer to home. Today, 1 in 68 children is diagnosed with autism. That's about a 30% increase in 2 years. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
There are a lot of words I would use to describe my daughter. Kind, strong, hilarious. When I think about how much she's experienced in her life, we can't help but be inspired by her every day. So really, we are the lucky ones. Learn more at adoptuskids.org.
Hi. I'm your retirement fear. But don't be scared. You're still in pre-retirement.
Does that mean I have more time to plan?
Precisely. Here, this is pretirement.org.
Retirement savings options? Potential tax breaks?
Ooh,
This isn't scary. I'm doing it.
you got this.
Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan.
Welcome back to Sports Central. The NHL season is officially back in full swing, and things have gotten even more interesting with the recent trade deadline shuffling stars around the league to new teams. Notably, the Detroit Red Wings brought in defenseman Justin Falk from the St. Louis Blues, Nazem Kadri moved from Calgary to Colorado, and Corey Perry bounced around yet again, this time going from the Kings to the Lightning. Tampa Bay, with their new addition, are fighting to regain their first-place spot in the Atlantic Division, which has been taken by the blazing Buffalo Sabres. The Red Wings, entering their yearly drought month of March, just lost Dylan Larkin, Andrew Kopp, Michael Rasmussen, and Michael Brantig-Nygaard all to injuries. All of these issues fall in place as the Wings sit fifth in the Atlantic, trying to crawl their way back into a top playoff spot. The Carolina Hurricanes sit comfortably in first in the Metropolitan Division, 9 points ahead of the Pittsburgh Penguins. In the Western Conference, the Avs lead the Central Division, with the Stars just 3 points behind. The Pacific Division lead is completely up for grabs, with 3 teams within 3 points of each other, the Golden Knights, the Ducks, and the Oilers, in that exact order. With exactly a month left before the regular season concludes, the players are feeling the heat on the ice.
We have reached the final 30 days of the NBA season, and the teams at the top are preparing themselves for their championship push. One team that has gained a lot of momentum is the Boston Celtics, who got back star forward Jason Tatum last week. Tatum, who tore his Achilles 10 months ago in a playoff loss to the New York Knicks, is back on the court sooner than expected. What was not a welcome sight for Boston was being on the wrong end of history, as Thunder star Shai Gilgeous-Alexander broke Wilt Chamberlain's record for most consecutive 20-point games in a 104-102 win over the Celtics. Alexander scored 35 points in his record-setting 127th game with 20 or more, breaking a record that has stood since 1967. The reigning MVP is making a strong case to take home the Michael Jordan Trophy for the second straight year. The Detroit Pistons still find themselves at the top of the Eastern Conference, despite recent struggles. Detroit has lost 5 of their last 8 games, including a 4-game losing streak. Now, because of this stretch of games, the Pistons' lead in the East has shrunk to only 4 games. The now fully healthy Boston Celtics and New York Knicks, who are 5 games back, are ready to make a push at that top seed in the East. Over in the West, the Thunder still stand above the rest, but the Victor Wembanyama-led Spurs have reduced that lead to 3.5 games. The Nuggets and the Lakers are the next 2 teams in the West, but face a sizable deficit to a top 2 spot. It is sure to be an exciting finish to the season, with the standings sure to change. From blocks to blockatas, Eli, how about you tell us about the World Baseball Classic?
Thanks, Jackson. With the MLB season near and the World Baseball Classic coming to a close, it's officially time to say baseball is back. The World Baseball Classic will be down to 2 teams after tonight's game between Italy and Venezuela. Let's recap how we got here. Starting in Pool A, where Canada and Puerto Rico found smooth sailing as both squads finished up at 3-1 in pool play. Pool B saw a bit more chaos, with Italy winning the pool at 4-0 and Team USA finishing at 3-1 after almost being eliminated after a shocking loss to Italy. Luckily for the Americans, the Italians would help out the boys in red, white, and blue, taking down Mexico and punching the US's ticket to the Final 8. Shifting to Pool C, it was the favorite to win the World Baseball Classic, Japan, who went 4-0, and Team Korea snuck in at 2-2. Finally, in Pool D, it was the Dominican Republic dominating the competition, going 4-0, with Team Venezuela finishing in second at 3-1. Those squads would combine to create the 8-team quarterfinal in Miami. In the first round of the quarterfinal matchups, the Dominican Republic would top Team Korea 10-0 in a mercy rule. Team USA would top Team Canada. Team Italy would send Team Puerto Rico home in a heartbreaker. And finally, Team Venezuela pulling off the upset of the tournament, so far besting Team Japan 8-5. In the semifinals, Team USA would beat the Dominican Republic in a pitcher's duel 2-1, courtesy of two solo blasts from young AL East stars Gunnar Henderson and Roman Anthony, while Mason Miller would be the stopper, closing out a scoreless ninth frame with 2 punch-outs. Tonight, Team Venezuela takes on Team Italy for the final spot in the championship to face Team USA. If you ask me, I think Team USA will win the World Baseball Classic against Team Italy in a rematch, but only time will tell. That'll put a bow on professional sports. Coming up next, we sit down and try to finally crack the code of the perfect March Madness bracket.
I think someone at my friend's school has this thing called autism. My friend's brother's son has autism. My neighbor's son has autism. My son has autism.
Autism is getting closer to home. Today, 1 in 68 children is diagnosed with autism. That's about a 30% increase in 2 years. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Oh, you should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork, loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look. Your crush is looking at you. Poor you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach
likes
your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
Look at me. Hey.
Raymond, look at Mommy.
Maybe the light hurts his eyes.
Maybe she's just not hungry. Maybe he can't hear us. Maybe we're not stimulating him enough. Maybe it's a phase.
Avoiding eye contact is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to Sports Central. It's time to get some of our March Madness predictions. We're going to start with the East region. We got Tony and Deshaun up here. There are experts here in the East region. Just want to start off with you, Deshaun. What's just looking at the bracket, a matchup that you look at and you're like, man, that's going to be a key one to watch?
You know, the first thing I think about is Louisville and South Florida. 6 versus 11 seed, very interesting matchup, and it can go either way. You know, Louisville in the ACC just, you know, trying not to get upset by South Florida, who is a pretty good team. And the winner, it looks like we'll have to face either Michigan State or North Dakota State. So barring an upset, it will be Michigan State, and surely I hope so.
I like that a lot because when I think of upset matchups, you know, I think it's the 12 and the 5s, and it's the, like he said, the 11 and the 6. When you get like closer together than that, it's not really an upset. You get farther away. It's like it's really not going to happen. Those are the ones that can really happen. And with St. John's on the table, yeah, I don't know. That is my team, so I don't think it's going to happen. But I think it's going to be a good matchup to watch.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Tony, we got any matchups for you over here?
So, ironically, I have the same thing as what Deshaun said. My matchup I am most excited for is USF and Louisville for the statistical reason that 11 seeds have a 23-21 record over 6 seeds going back to 2014. So, just saying statistically, 11 seeds have done pretty well against 6 seeds. So, this one's going to be a fun matchup to watch.
I want to talk about that 8-9 game, Ohio State versus TCU. It's the opener of the tournament. They really put together the hottest 8 seed in the country, the hottest 9 seed, mashed them together. That matchup's going to be awesome to watch. Bruce Thornton, obviously, for the Buckeyes, finally making the NCAA tournament, and Duke in that second-round matchup. They've been injured a lot, so to see if they can make it out will be interesting.
I do like Bruce.
Bruce
I hate
Thornton.
the Buckeyes. I hate the Buckeyes.
Got to root on Bruce Thornton. Deshaun, just looking at it, who's your favorite to come out of this East region so far?
Out of the region, give me Kansas. I think Duke and Kansas will be in the Elite Eight, but I think Kansas got the upper hand. They are a 4 seed. However, a lot of 1 seeds, I mean, there's got to be one to fall down. I think Duke, unfortunately, might be that one.
Tony, what about you?
I'm going to have to disagree with you, Deshaun.
Ooh.
I am going Duke, and for one reason, and it is Cam Boozer. Man has been incredible. Averages almost 25 points a game. He is on fire. You got no better reason than Duke.
I don't think anyone's going to stop the Booze Cruise. I agree with that one. But who knows? I don't know. Maybe St. John's can come out of this little region.
Oh, man, that's going to be crazy.
I like another Big East team, UConn. Dan Hurley, you got to go with him. He's won the championships. Deshaun, who's your tourney favorite right now to win it?
Give me Virginia. I need Virginia. I need Virginia to win. I really do have Virginia and Purdue in my championship.
I like that. And quickly to Tony.
I'm going to go Iowa State, and for the reason I love their transition takeaways. They do a really good job hustling back and forth down the court. I like Iowa State to win it all.
Wow, that's a good
Well, that's all the time we got. We'll get another group up here to talk about the next region in the March Madness bracket.
That was a great first panel. Now we have 2 new experts, this time for the West. It's Ian and it's Evan. Let's go to the first question. What are your key matchups coming out of this West region?
Well, I like Wisconsin and High Point. Wisconsin's coming off a kind of successful tournament run in the Big Ten. They probably want to do a little bit better. Nolan Winters, though, their center, is going to have a lot of work to do. 11 players on High Point are over 6'6", and High Point has a number 5 offense in the non-power 4 groups. And Terry Anderson, one of their best players, had a great season. I expect him to continue.
I like that. What about you, Ian?
All right, so I think the toss-up game is number 7 versus number 10, Miami versus Missouri. You have both teams shooting over 50%. You have Mark Mitchell for Missouri shooting 54% from the field, while you have Malik Ranau, I think that's how you say his name, apologize if it's wrong, at 18.8 points per game. So I think this game right now is a tie-up because whoever wins this will make it probably to Sweet 16 in the West bracket.
I like that. I think my key matchup would probably be Villanova, Utah State, just because I think that's going to be an actual really good game that could go down to the wire or even overtime. And you know how much I love the Big East.
I mean, the 8-9s are always great games.
Oh, absolutely.
And I really like that Arkansas-Hawaii game.
Yeah.
2 very different styles of play. Arkansas, they want to run up and down the court, shoot threes. Hawaii, they're going to slow it down, play great defense. Arkansas, their weaknesses, their bigs. Hawaii, their best player is a 7-footer, Isaac Johnson. He's been awesome for them all year. But really the one big question is, who do you guys got coming out of this region, Evan? Who's your leader to make the Final Four?
Well, I definitely think this is the easiest region for the 1 seed, and in this case, it's Arizona. So I have Arizona beating BYU in the Elite Eight to go to the Final Four.
I have Arizona, but he basically took everything out of my mouth. Arizona is going to be the number 1 all the way through, but I can see a shocker where Arkansas makes it to the Final Four. I could see
Sure
it.
thing. All right. What about you, Jackson?
Definitely agree. Arizona, just they're so balanced offensively and defensively. Evan, do you got Arizona? They're winning it for you?
I think Jaden Bradley is going to lead this Arizona team to a national championship.
Ian, who's the winner we got over here?
Iowa State.
Overall?
I think they're just a way better offense and a way better team in general. There was one point where they were top 3 in the nation, I'm pretty sure. So I'm going to say Iowa State is going to take the Natty this year.
Well, that's all we got for the West region. We're going to kick it over to the Midwest region next on Sports Central.
Welcome back. Now we move on to the Midwest. We have new experts. We have Nick and we have Ryan. Now my first question. Do you guys have any March Maniacs, the Doug Eaterts, the DJ Burnses, the Jack Golkes? Me personally, St. Louis, Robbie Avila is my guy. Who's you?
Tavari Johnson, Akron.
Love it. Love it.
What about you, Jackson?
Honestly, I really can't hate Tavari Johnson. I mean, I think we all follow MAC basketball. We know the name, but the nation doesn't know Tavari Johnson, how good he is at point guard. Guard play is what wins in March. I think that's why Akron, they got a really good chance of upsetting Texas Tech in round 1. Who's your March Maniac?
I'm also going Tavari Johnson. I mean, shooting nearly 40% from 3, over 20 points a game. I mean, as you said, guard play wins in March. I think Akron could go on a run with Tavari Johnson at the helm.
Well, I mean, that leads us right into, you like Akron upset first round, but who you got making it out of this region, making it into the Final Four?
I mean, I'm going to go with the top seed. I'm going to go with the Michigan Wolverines. I could see Iowa State, though. I mean, it all depends on Yaxel's health, honestly, for Michigan.
Yeah, I really, not a Michigan guy over here.
I mean, but what happens when they run into Robbie Avila in St. Louis round 2?
It's a great point. Nick, who we got winning this region?
Man, it's just like our roundup sign, the Cyclones making it out of this Midwest.
I mean, they got
the
a
ones
lot
and the
of shooting.
twos. I mean, yeah.
I guess I can't really hate on that. I don't like Michigan, but they've been too dominant all year. So you got Iowa State. Are they winning the whole thing, Nick, or we got someone else from another region win the tournament?
Nah, my boys Florida Gators going.
Ooh, okay.
They're going back to back, just like 06 and 07.
Ryan, who we like to win it all?
I am going with Michigan. I think Yax will be healthy by the time the Final Four is coming around, and I think the guard plays improved throughout the season for Michigan, and I think that's just the depth, the shooting, the defense. That's a team that's built to win in March.
Well, we're going to hear about those Gators next on the South region.
But first, we want to ask one more final question really quickly. A key game coming out of this region?
Akron versus Texas Tech. I see Akron advancing against Texas Tech, and I honestly see them advancing against Alabama to make the Sweet 16.
I like that. I love me some action.
Honestly, I'm also going with the action matchup, but not the Akron game. I'm going with Miami and SMU in that play-in game. I'm just curious to see, is Miami legit? Like, can they play against a Power 4 competition or Power 5 competition? I'm very curious to see that.
Well, I think a Miami-Ohio-Akron matchup in the Elite Eight would feed everybody in the world for the rest of all of time. But with that being said, we're going to move on to the South, and we're going to get a new round of experts coming up next.
We're rounding it out with the South region. We're joined by our experts, Trevin and Brant. Got to start off, who's our Cinderella pick?
We all know who's winning.
I've really been, Florida, whatever. I've really been eyeing that VCU at the 11 seed. But Trevin, who's your Cinderella in the South region?
I'm with you on that one, VCU. Terrence Hill Jr., he shoots 46% from the field. I think he's a very underrated player, and he can do some serious damage in the March Madness bracket.
Yeah, and I got to agree. Give me the Commonwealth any day that ends in Y. Caleb Wilson's out for UNC. This is just a no-brainer for me to be the big upset.
Me personally, I'm thinking Troy. I'm talking game of the year, undisputed, the Trojans versus the Trojans, Troy versus USC, dagger after dagger, triple overtime, game of the year. Troy's going to go on a run just because of that.
I like the pick. I mean, Nebraska, they've kind of been on and off to end the season, looking for that first tournament win ever. I mean, how can you go this long playing basketball and you haven't won a single March Madness game?
In the Big Ten as well.
You got to fade them. You got to fade them all the time.
Absolutely. All right, now, who do we have representing the South in the Final Four?
I'm going to stray away. A lot of guys have been saying the number one. I got to give it to the Illini. There hasn't been a Big Ten to win the national tournament since 2000 with Michigan State. I really want as much Big Ten representation as I can. And with the Illini having like the best offensive efficiency in the nation, to me that makes sense.
I'm also with Brand on that one. Pretty much everything he said I was going to say too. So
you're just stealing all my ideas, bro.
Clearly one of you must be right then.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, if one of us is right, both of us are right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, I'm the right one.
I'm going to go with the 2-seed Houston. I think they're a really interesting team. They're a little younger than they have been in years past, but Kelvin Sampson, he's a veteran coach. You got to trust that veteran experience. The runners-up last season, I really like them to outlast Florida, get that revenge from last year's national title game, beat them, and make it to the Final Four.
Me personally, I would love to see the Vandy boys do it. But first they have to get past the potential boombox again of McNeese, which I think that'll be a good matchup in itself, and hopefully Vandy can go on. But ultimately, I think it's Florida.
Exactly right. So now we got to get our national title pick, starting with Brant. Who is your national title favorite right now?
It's got to be Zona. I mean, it's almost a no-brainer for me. It makes too much sense. They've been doing so well. I got them taking UConn in the final.
Trevor?
Give me Michigan, go blue, or Arizona.
Got two picks there.
Interesting. Right. You got to pick one.
Got to pick
one?
You got
to pick one.
Okay, I'm a little biased, but go blue, baby. Give me the Michigan Wolverines.
I also like Arizona. I think just overall, they're just the most consistent team. They've had struggles in March Madness. Last time I picked them to win a national title, they lost to Princeton as a 15 seed. So hoping Arizona wins it this year.
Yeah, we finally get to make our national championship picks. And as much as I hate to do it, I think I have to go with Duke. I'm not a huge fan of them, but, the way they've been playing, I just don't think you can pick anyone else. I think that's all the time we have here. I think that was great. 4 great panels. Just a great show in general. So I've been Peyton Price.
I'm Jackson Bickers.
I'm Brant Beach.
And I'm Trevor Williamson.
And this has been
Sports Central.